स्वागत है गोल्डन मेट्रो शो के नए एपिसोड में। मैं सुब्रतो मित्रा आपका होस्ट लेके आया एक ऐसे नए गेस्ट हो जो कि बॉलीवुड के फेमस डायरेक्टर अनुभव सिन्हा सर, जिन्होंने काफी ब्लॉकबस्टर मूवीज एंड वेब सीरीज बनाई हैं, जैसे हो गए तुम बिन, 10, रावण, भीड़, अनेक, थप्पड़, आर्टिकल 15, मुल्क जैसी मूवीज एंड एक फेमस वेब सीरीज IC814 एक ट्रू बेस्ड स्टोरी है कांदार हाईजैक की। तो जल्दी से करते हैं इस एपिसोड की शुरुआत। अनुभव सिन्हा सर, वेलकम टू गोल्डन मेट्रो शो, वेलकम टू देहरादून सर।
थैंक यू।
पॉडकास्ट के अंदर जाने से पहले देहरादून आपको कैसा लगा अभी तक?
बहुत कमाल है। मैं शहर से कम मिला, वहाँ के लोगों से ज्यादा मिला हूँ अभी तक। तो और इस बार मुझे लगता है इतना ही होगा, क्योंकि फ्लाइंग विजिट है। बहुत बढ़िया बढ़िया खाना खाया, बहुत बढ़िया बढ़िया लोगों से मिला, सिनेमा हॉल गया एक, और फिर बहुत सारे इन्फ्लुएंसर्स से मिला। 15, 16, 17 लोग थे शायद। तो बहुत मजा आया।
कौन सी ऐसी बात आपको अच्छी लगी?
द फैक्ट कि लोग अपनी एथनिक आइडेंटिटी को इतना वैल्यू करते हैं, अपने पहाड़ी होने को, अपना पहाड़ी क्विजीन और कपड़े, उस चीज को बहुत वैल्यू करते हैं, जो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है।
आपकी जर्नी फ्रॉम मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर टू डायरेक्टर, ये कैसे ट्रांजिशन हुआ?
ये ट्रांजिशन ऐसे हुआ यार कि वो जब हम बड़े हो रहे थे ना, जब तुम्हारी उम्र, तुमसे थोड़े छोटे थे, तो दो ही ऑप्शन थे, या तो इंजीनियर बन जाओ या डॉक्टर बन जाओ। तो ये पिताजी के बनाए हुए ऑप्शन थे। तो मुझे खून से डर लगता था, तो मैं इंजीनियर बन गया। तो विच इज नॉट गुड रीजन टू बिगिन विद। फिर जब मैं जॉब करने लगा तो मुझे समझ में आया कि मुझे नहीं करना है, और फिर मैंने 1 साल के लिए जॉब छोड़ दी, और 1 साल मैंने ढूंढा कि मुझे क्या करना है। एंड आई वाज सो लकी दैट विद इन अ ईयर आई गॉट टू असिस्ट ऑन अ डॉक्यूमेंट्री फिल्म।
ओके।
जस्ट एज अ रनर। बट वो काम करके मुझे समझ में आ गया कि मुझे फिल्में बनानी है। And then I finished that one, and then I went to Bombay, and then Bombay was very kind to me.
Although Bombay is very kind of a struggling for the people.
You know, Bombay in the beginning scares you a lot. Bombay in the beginning tells you to go away, go back.
Does it test the person? Is he capable of getting successful?
I think so. I think Bombay scares you first. Go back. And if you can't deal with it, if you can't look the city in the eye and say, listen, I'm not going anywhere, then it gives you a lot. It can. I have seen, like any other big city, I have seen a lot of people leaving dejected and lost, but I have seen probably more people making it.
Okay. So, how did you get to your first film, directing to the first film?
Like I said, Bombay was kind. So I met this gentleman called Mr. Bhushan Kumar, who had unfortunately lost his father to a tragic incident. And he had taken over the company, and I used to make music videos for the company.
Okay.
And I think a couple of years after we started making music videos together, he offered me to make a film. It was as easy as that.
So, how does a director's brain work while making a film?
It is like the infrastructure of a city. Electricity, water, sewage, pollution, lights in the streets, lights in the homes. It's everything. It's so multidimensional. So many things going on. And add to this human energy. A whole lot of times very constructive energy, a lot of times not so constructive. Interfering energy. You have to manage it all. And at every moment, remember what you are trying to do, and then get there.
So how did you prepare that? Because at that time, I think so there was no mobile phones. At now time, we have mobile phones. We see the directions. We know the AI feature. So at that time, what do you used to do?
Today, like you feel so privileged that you have these tools. At that point, we had fewer tools, but we didn't know of the tools to come in the future. So we were very happy with those tools.
Okay.
And we used to talk about the previous generation, which had fewer tools. The generation after you will have more tools.
Right.
But, when you're passionate about doing something, then you're very happy with all the tools that you can get your hands on. And you make a film. And that's what we did.
If we talk about your movies, transitioning from romantic movies to like message-oriented movies like Article 15, Mulk, Thappar, and how did it transition from there to there?
I think there was so much going on in the world. And after Ra.One, I had faced a lot of rejection.
Why?
Because there was a large number of people that hated the film, and there's a large number of people that loved the film. Those who loved the film were kids. So
Right.
they were not vocal. I wouldn't hear them. I only heard the people who were vocal. So there was some sort of rejection, and almost at the verge of probably quitting to direct, I stumbled upon this story, which would later become Mulk. And in Mulk, I found my voice. And I thought there can't be anything more giving than a piece of art that's actually your voice. And then I got addicted.
So, sir, why do you think that Ra.One was a failure?
It was declared a failure then, but 5 years later, and until today, they call it a landmark and a masterpiece and whatever.
Sir, I personally believe, मैंने ये देखा है, आपने उस टाइम पे ऑडियंस को वो लाके दिया जो उन्होंने उस टाइम पे एक्सपेक्ट भी नहीं किया था बॉलीवुड से. They just चलिए उसके कुछ टाइम पहले रोबोट रिलीज हुई थी of रजनीकांत एंड इट वाज अ मैसिव हिट कि एक चिट्टी रोबोट आ गया. सो एवरीवन वाज लाइक एक सुपर हीरो भी आ गया एकदम से जीवन. एंड द वीएफएक्स द सीजीआई वर सो अमेजिंग कि उस टाइम पे ऑडियंस को लगा ये क्या आ गया.
करेक्ट.
ये क्या आ गया. आपने फ्यूचर उसमें आपने 14 साल पहले फ्यूचर दिखा दिया ऑफ एआई उस टाइम पे. आई थिंक सो ऑडियंस उस टाइम पे कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाई.
क्या पता, it's very difficult to ever find out why did a film work or why it didn't work.
There always be multiple answers.
Yeah, you can choose an answer that you like.
True.
But you will never know. There's a whole lot of things that go on.
Did Ra.One gave you satisfaction?
Yeah, it in hindsight, in terms of the quality of visual effects, a whole lot of action scenes, the whole idea was very satisfactorily achieved. There's a whole lot of things that I shouldn't have done, which I did, and so that was not good.
ऐसी कौन सी चीजें थी जो आप नहीं चाहते थे, जिसमें आप अनसेटिस्फाइड थे, जो आप चेंज कर पाते हैं उस टाइम?
The opening dream sequence was not in sync with the rest of the film. Also because it was conceived very late, and we did not give enough time to the visual effects team because we had to get into the release of the film. And so that was a bad decision. Its funniness could have been more polished. Also, I think we should not have tried to please everyone. The film conceptually was meant for younger kids who knew what video gaming was and who could take that leap of faith that somebody can come out of a video game. And so, in India, video games have never been very big.
Right.
And this was a very high-tech game which ends up interfering with reality. That became a little too technical a concept for the slightly older generation, old school people who were not into electronics and video games, etc.
Which is your best scene from Ra.One?
My best scene from Ra.One, in terms of technical achievement, is the time when Ra.One comes to life out of a road, newly paved road. That I think was one of the best achieved sequences. So that's quite. I'm quite proud of that. I'm very proud of the fight sequence between Shah Rukh and Tom Wu when they're throwing cars at each other, and then they climb those flying cars and madness. Right. The train sequence is quite an accomplishment, breaking through the Victoria Terminus station.
That's the amazing scene. And there is one that where Ra.One is standing here, the character, and beside it was Dasera scene, Ra.One 1. And it's one of the iconic scenes.
Yeah, I like it too.
It's amazing. And Econ तो लाने का idea आपके mind में कैसे आया था? कि Econ ही आना चाहिए?
I think it was Vishal or Shekhar, just both of them. We composed a song, Criminal. And they said, let's get Econ for this. So I called Shah Rukh. I said, I want Econ. And he said, okay, let me try. And then he tried. And he made it happen.
I wanted to know, because you have worked with Shah Rukh Khan. So how do you describe Shah Rukh Khan? Why is he called the king? What quality he has?
I don't know if himself is very serious about that kingdom. He's a very passionate man. Passionate about things that he wants to do. He gives it all that he has. And I don't think he takes his stardom very seriously either. And he knows, he's fully aware who he is. But I think he thinks that's a byproduct of his passion. He's otherwise a very, very middle-class man in terms of the way he thinks of relationships, of home, of friendships. He's quite middle-class that way.
What's your views on Bads of Bollywood?
I've seen just one episode and I haven't even told Aryan yet. I have to call him. I was writing a script past 2 months. So I really love it. I love that the guy has an attitude. And I love the fact that he's audacious, which is very interesting. Audacious directors are fantastic. They break rules. And I love that about him.
So what are the rules in being a director?
No. Different directors have different rules. But he breaks he's Shah Rukh Khan's son. And he's made this series. He makes, he makes fun of us. And he makes fun of the whole system that his father is the king of.
It's kind of a Gen Z mode.
Yeah.
How do you see Raghav, Juyal, let's say, the new coming actors?
Very, very talented kid. Very talented kid. I mean, when he was just a dancer, we knew him just as a dancer. He was fantastic. And now he's acted. I saw him kill. I saw him a bit in, because one episode in Taapse Panu, He's very good. Way to go.
So, जैसे casting and all होती है, how do you see कि ये वाला रोल इस एक्टर पे आना चाहिए?
यार वो लिखते लिखते ना, during the writing, a face starts emerging. And more often than not, that face looks like an actor. I don't know where that comes from.
जैसे मतलब आपने एक बार 10 मूवी आप बना रहे थे, so you got Siddharth Malhotra. You were choosing Siddharth Malhotra, I think so. At that time.
No, not this. I was post thus. I was going to post thus. I made Cash. Post Cash, I was going to make a film, which was going to have Siddharth in it.
So how did you find Siddharth Malhotra?
My assistant, associate, Maqbool, he was auditioning people in Delhi.
Okay.
And he called me from there very excited. He said, I think I found the guy for you.
Okay.
But that film never happened. Good for Siddharth. He became a bigger star.
But Student of the Year was one of the greatest movie I have loved because it changed every college student perspective. कि everyone dreams like हमारा college भी ऐसी हो जाए जैसे करण जौहर की मूवी में होता है. Everyone. Because Siddharth Malhotra, Varun Dhawan, Alia Bhatt, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It changed our whole Gen Z generation.
Karan is brilliant with that.
His movies all are amazing, in fact.
Starting with कुछ होता है.
हाँ.
The college, the school there was again very aspirational.
What a person, a youth, should do to become a director?
What should one do to become a director? Read a lot, try and write, watch a lot, and have an opinion, and be unique, and then find an opportunity.
So, sir, how did you got the idea of making IC814?
It wasn't my idea. It was Netflix's idea.
Okay.
Netflix and Matchbox, a production house, they were developing it for 3 years actually. And then they approached me to direct it. And so not my idea, their idea.
But this directions, I have watched that series around 4 to 5 times.
Wow, I haven't seen it even once yet.
Because the color grading, the directions, the camera angles, and the curiosity developed by the characters, the role played by the actors, spacely. It's one of the amazing. And the scene, that office scene, where all the top 8 characters were there. The chai or coffee one. How did you get that idea?
Chai or coffee scene I wrote. And I really loved it. I thought it came out like that. Quite like an epiphany. And then I sent it to Trishant. And I was waiting for his response. I had written the whole that episode, my draft. I sent it to him. I was waiting for his response. And he called me and he said whatever he had to say, this scene, that scene. And sir, that chai coffee scene, sir. And he praised it so much. And I was so happy because when I wrote the scene, I had this feeling that it had turned out special.
In fact, I saw your one episode at Netflix before the launch. You were sitting with the actors and you were discussing that you also took the flight simulator, the real life experience.
Yeah.
That from when the flight was flying from Amritsar to Lahore at just 200 feet. What were your feelings?
You could feel exactly what the cockpit was feeling at the time. And that gives you a sense of the emotions that were floating in the air. And I just had to recreate it. So it became simpler for me.
कभी ऐसा कुछ होता है मतलब कि आप जब शूटिंग कर रहे हो on the spot changes
होता है ना
स्क्रिप्ट में?
हाँ.
How long does a movie take to be shooted?
Past 7, not 7, 5 films. Past 5 films have been at an average of 30-31 days to shoot. Okay. But I'm ridiculously fast, obnoxiously fast. Because I have a great team.
Sir, what's the difference between Hollywood and Bollywood in directing?
To begin with, let's say about 50 odd years. They are 50 years ahead of us.
Okay.
So they have made their mistakes, and we are making those mistakes now. And we'll learn from those mistakes and we'll improve ourselves. They started making films in early 1900s, and we started properly in the 40s. Yes, there's a silent era of sporadic filmmaking here and there. I will read the book, which will have more information that your mom gifted me, your grandfather's book. So, and also they're much better trained. They've got many institutes to train screenwriters, cinematographers, directors, editors, sound designers. We have like 2.5 maybe. So that's a difference, because this is an art form which is extremely technical also.
Sir, what's the motive behind the Chal Picture Chale, your journey?
There's no motive. I just thought I left my hometown 30 years, no, 40 years, 1991 to today, 34 years back. And ever since, I've been on a journey of doing things, achieving, and finding a place, finding a foothold. And then suddenly was this feeling that I'm disconnected. I should be connected with my roots, my cities, the people that I make films for. And it was time to just go visit them and hang with them and talk to them and meet youngsters like yourself and see what's going on and what are they doing, how do they spend their days and evenings and nights. And I also desperately wanted to go visit cinema halls in these cities, where I wanted to look at the people watch films. I've started watching the faces of people watching films, which is a very interesting sight. So that's all, nothing more, nothing less.
So, sir, if we talk about while directing a movie, it's so much stressful. So, how do you keep your stress free?
I don't have a technical answer to it, but mostly I'm not stressed. I'm a believer, and I'm a relentless believer. I know it'll happen.
While writing a script, how your imagination works?
It's a very meditative state of mind. You're not in that seat that you're sitting in. You're elsewhere.
Okay.
And you're floating and you're writing. So it's the only connection between your state, your spiritual state and your physical state is a keyboard. And that becomes a bridge.
So, sir, what will be that one message you would like to give to the younger generation of India as well as of Dehradun who are watching this podcast?
4-letter word. READ. Youngsters are not reading. Read. Don't watch that thing that you're watching with your thumb. Read.
Reels. We have to read.
Yes.
What book will you suggest?
A whole lot of there. Watch a filmmakers, youngsters.
Yes, sir.
Read a book called Making Movies by Sidney Lumet, or read a book called, it's quite a novel called, it's not a novel, but it's quite a novel. It's called Dirty Pictures. Or read a book called, with the same author, called Easy Rider, Raging Bulls. See how Hollywood shaped up.
So before ending this podcast, I have one question. What's your dream project?
Nothing.
Nothing. Why?
I see a dream and I make it. So it's like one after the other.
Any dream movie you would like to make? Ever? Any topic?
No, I don't operate like that. I think of a film and I make it.
Okay.
And then I think of another film and I make it. So if I think of that film that is impossible to make, that hasn't happened. All these films were impossible. When I was making Thus, I thought of Ra.One. When I finished making Ra.One, I thought of Mulk. So these are all impossible dreams. And I haven't thought of the finale. I don't have that in mind. I don't think there's a finale coming up soon.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on Golden Metro Show.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for
your
having me.
precious time.